All right, everyone. Welcome to Spitfire Elite's Industry Updates hosted by your very own Nik Fialka. I'll give you guys a couple of minutes, if that, probably till 2.5 after to get in here. And we're going to get excited and pumped up. So let's go. 3, 2, 1. All right, everyone. My name is Tron Williams. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Spitfire Elite, and thank you very much for investing in yourself today. Thanks for your time on a Sunday afternoon. This particular webinar is going to be recorded, so we want to make sure that you guys do not miss this. So a little bit about us, a little bit about myself. Navy veteran, served for 21 years, 13 years active, 8 years as a reservist, hence the beard. Extremely happy and excited to be here. One thing I want to let you guys know, Spitfire Elite is a company that started for underdogs, and I believe that our taggers are exactly that. I am super pumped about this particular conference this year because the truth of the matter is there is no one that brings it like RTAG. I have watched the maturation process of many folks that have come into aviation, and it has just been, from where that zero to hero mentality is my absolute favorite. So what we're going to talk about today, first of all, I will leave it to Nik to talk about the industry updates. On the Spitfire Elite Consulting side, we want to let you know that we are a company that is here to serve. Joshua Lee and Nik are going to talk about some things that we're going to do. But I want to let you know that for those of you that are trying to prepare for a conference, this is conference 22 in a row for us. Understand that for the last 3 years, we have been to every service organization, OBAP, Women in Aviation, NGPA, you name it, we are there. What has that allowed us to do? That has allowed us to establish phenomenal relationships with the leadership of these particular service organizations, and a company that has been started that is for vets, by vets. We're excited about this partnership. So over those 22 conferences, what have we learned? One, we've learned a lot about how to maximize a conference. One thing we did when we started in this industry in 2021 is we decided that if you show up at a conference, you are only selling. That is what I believe. That is why we start 4 to 6 weeks out preparing for conferences so that we can serve. There is, by the time you show up at that conference, if you have not prepared, it's too late. So what we want to do is over the next few weeks, with these recorded webinars, we want to get you ready, get your application ready. Let's know how to dress. Let's know how to interact. Let's know how to kick it and have a good time. But let's do all that with a goal in mind, okay? We want to eliminate some of the things that you may or may not be nervous about, okay? We just want to keep you fully informed on how to be successful. So without further ado, I want to introduce my friend, former client, current coach, man, I tell you what, this guy is truly my brother. I'm always excited about him. I love the way that he serves. When we talked about starting a podcast with Nik, I told him that he had broad shoulders and he needed to be ready because he was going to have impact. And he's done nothing but that, with 160, 70 plus episodes. I'll let him correct me on that. Anyhow, so without further ado, my buddy, Nik Fialka.
Hey, Tron, what's up, my man?
What's up, broski? How you doing?
Dude, I am so glad you're here. I am excited as can be about the convention, the last convention of the year. And what have we been to? 22 conventions in a row. Is that right?
That is correct. That is correct. Just coming off of PAPA
Yep.
last, what, man, a couple days
Latino
ago?
Pilots
No,
Association.
LPA. Yeah, there
That's
we
right.
go. Yeah,
That's right.
LPA, let's see, 5 for 5 with American, right?
Yep.
Undefeated there and undefeated with United. I don't know how many United gave out. And also, yeah, I think we had some scholarships given out and all kind of love and support. But I don't want to steal the thunder.
That's it.
I'm super stoked. So look, this is your show, and I'm excited that I'm excited to listen and find out all the goodness that we're going to present
All
early
right,
on.
man. Tron, thank you for kicking us off tonight. Thank you for being a huge part of my life, my brother in Christ, and just like a person that I emulate and that I want to be. You are a great leader. You're a great dad. You're a great human. You're a great pilot. You're all the things I want to be. So thank you for coming in today and just kicking us off. It's good to have you, buddy.
Man, just blessed to be part of it.
Let's
Have a
go.
good one. Let's go.
Deuces. All right, everybody. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the industry update. You can see Joshua Lee's information down there. We are going to get started in just a hot sec. I want to tell you a couple things. The first thing I want to mention is, you heard me say 22 conventions in a row. Tron, Bill, me, our team, we are here to serve. We are here every single convention. We are the only company that is at every single convention. We are the only company that will be there to help you. And one of the big things that I'm going to do with my team down there, we are going to do on-site resume review. We will bring our entire team, robust team, to help you go through your resume to make sure it's tight. And not just that, that seems kind of like seems really good, but what are you going to do? How are you going to get that printed out? And the way you're going to get that printed out, the thing you're going to do is we've got a printer and lots of resume paper, and we've got you guys ready to rock and roll. So be not afraid. We will be there. I'm going to ask my man, Joshua Lee, if he can come on to the show. Joshua, are you here, my man?
Yes, I am.
All right. Am I frozen? Is my screen frozen?
It is frozen.
All right. It's very weird. I'm going to stop my video. My wife tried to FaceTime me and I didn't have my thing out. Yes, I'm back.
Nice.
I'm
got
back.
you.
Everybody knows Anna. If you listen to episode 100, you know Anna. I hope she's all right. I need to check my text messages just to make sure. That's
Hey,
very
you gotta
unusual.
take care of mama. That's
That's
no doubt
right.
about that,
Listen,
dude.
y'all, I love every single one of you. We've got almost 200 people in here. I love every single one of you. But if there's a problem, you got to take care of your family first. And that's it. Before we get started, Joshua, I did want to tell everybody I have a 15% off discount code that I'm going to toss into the chat. My producer is going to get that information over there into the Q&A section. There's it's September SEPT and then SFE for Spitfire Elite update 15. So SEPT, SFE update 15. That'll be 15% off if you want to join our team for the next 24 hours. It's good. Goes away at midnight tomorrow. So, dude, what's up? Joshua Lee, president of RTAG, buddy. Like, is it chaos? Is life insane right now?
Not any more than usual, people that know me, but yeah, I mean, we're gearing up. We are closing in on. We're just inside the. See, it's the 15th. So yeah, just inside the 3-week mark about, and it is, at the Lee household, it is going through boxes and getting all of the RTAG stuff prepped and packing the trailer, and Tim and Jim are finalizing the last little bits of theirs. The scholarship announcements getting ready to start going live this week. It's pretty pumped. Pretty pumped.
You guys you jump in the truck and you family trek across from Colorado to Texas, right?
Yeah, Becky and I pack up. We have a big enclosed trailer and we pack it all full and head down there with all of the RTAG stuff that we have to bring with all of our RTAG stuff. So,
dude, that is so cool. It is this convention. If this is your first convention, this is a spectacle. This is like Fort Worth, Cowtown, USA. It is. I mean, there's so much. Everything's big. Like it's massive. And I would also like, before I got to brag on myself for just a quick second. 2 years ago in Fort Worth, we had it, and I was known as like, hey, you're the tall guy with the cowboy hat. Like I was the guy,
I remember
the guy in a cowboy hat. And last year, nonstop cowboy hats.
That's right.
And I just want to, I feel good about that. I'll bring my cowboy hat back.
You led the charge. You inspired our theme last year to go Cowboy Western last year. It was all on Nick. We should have called it a Nick party is what we should have called it.
Dude, okay, so what do you got? Talk to me about what is in store, what kind of things you guys have been working on for this convention.
So as we always do, we were able to get the arena again this year. So that's super exciting. That was really great for those that got to see the opening ceremony last year. It was just unreal. We had about just over 5,000, about 5,100 on property over the weekend. But we had about 3,400 in the stands for that opening ceremony last year, which was it was awesome. I mean, it was super cool. And so we've got the TCU Color Guard coming to present the colors again, which is going to be fantastic with the national anthem. And just a little pump up session for me and the guys to get everything ready. And then we've got an incredible lineup of speakers again, as we always do, starting off with your team Spitfire. So that's gonna be a lot of fun. We've got all the airlines are coming to talk about what it looks like too. So it's really neat. We talk about industry and what it looks like. And going from this last convention this year into what it looks like next year, you're going to get to hear firsthand from all of these recruiting departments, what does it look like over the next little bit? It's not just, oh, hey, how to make yourself competitive, but it's like, what does our hiring look like in January and February, March, and April? So you're going to get to hear that directly from the recruiting teams. We've got the VA coming out to talk about like maximizing benefits, making sure your medical stuff is taken care of, making sure post-service life. We want to try and take care of you from the beginning to end of post-service life. Bunch of financial departments coming out. Allworth Financial is going to come out again. We've got some aviation people that are really specific on how to grow wealth and money as you get into these jobs and how to take care of your finances, which is really something we think is incredibly important. So those are going to be out. Those folks are going to be out. And then just a massive amount of people. And, one of the biggest things that we always try to do is Portraits for Patriots. Make sure you get your headshot because these folks have been fantastic. It is a free service to all the veterans. They come out and they just blow it out. And anybody that's on watching can tell you that's gotten one done. I see LinkedIn. We call it LinkedIn November because we always see all of the pictures from RTAG coming LinkedIn from Portraits for Patriots. And it's just such an incredible charity thing that they offer us. And it's incredible.
I do want to say, like, go check out Landon Chevin's Instagram or LinkedIn photo. Like, they are not just photographers. The Portraits for Patriots. There are a lot of people that do headshots, but they are stunning. Like, it doesn't matter if you're as ugly as me. It's a craft. It's an art. They're beautiful. And man, I'm there.
So
I can't wait.
And this year I'm even suiting up because I haven't had time to get a picture. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to get a picture. It may just be a suit from the top up. Just like I am going to get a picture this year, finally get a nice headshot, maybe in a suit so I can put something respectable.
I feel like I need to too now. All right. I'm going to bring a suit. I might even bring
just
a
the
bow
top
tie.
hat. Who knows? So you can be there.
I'm a bow tie guy, so I'm going to do that. I'm in. Dude, I love that. All right. So if you see Joshua in a suit, he's going Portraits for Patriots.
And then we've got the, as always, the scholarship party, which this year's luau themed. We still have tickets left. So they're very inexpensive, $15. And then actually all that money turns around. We put that aside for we're able to do another scholarship on top of that, which is great. And so not only are we going to have awesome luau food, we've booked one of the top Beach Boys cover bands in the United States.
Oh, sweet.
So, it's so good. And then we have something I'm super excited about. We have a mechanical surfboard this year, and we have a mechanical ride-on shark this year. So
perfect.
It's gonna be wild.
Perfect. Enjoy your broken femur, y'all.
That's right.
Oh my God. Listen, not a lot of people know this, but I have won a hula competition. So
sounds like we need to do something. We need to do one.
I can move these hips, y'all. Don't even guess. I don't play. If you listen, that's the event. Go into the party, go into the festivities. The themes are always so fun. So you've got 3 weeks to get yourself 110% ready and learn your haka dance too. Definitely do it because the more you go overboard with it, just the more fun it is. It is bananas fun. So I love that. I can't wait to be there. We're also keep your heads in the game, y'all, because we will also have a Spitfire Elite after party one of those nights where we rent out a place and throw down. So if you're in our WhatsApp chat, you'll find out about that. Scholarships, man, scholarships. Talk to me about the depth of scholarships this year.
Well, so last year, we were able to give out $300,000 worth of scholarships, which is, I mean, when you think about, I know it's, I don't even know it. When you think about, this is our sixth major convention, and we're already able to give out $300,000 of scholarships, which is just unbelievable.
Yeah.
There's a lot of reasons for that and for support, and it's just incredible. And I think it's the mission we set out with, is to just, like you said, serve others. And that is, that is the core tenet, is how do we serve those of us, or those of, it is us, but that have served. And, that's something that's just so, even in today's, it's not Vietnam anymore. Today, people get a ton of praise about thank you for your service, but we don't want to just thank you and high five and walk on. We want to make sure that you really feel that we're serving you in the next step. And so this year, I got to look at the final numbers. I know Jim just sent me some this morning, but we should be right around the same mark. And we did it a little differently this year. We always try to surprise, but last year we were able to match scholarships that other companies gave. And it looks like we're going to be able to do that again this year. So not just what a company like Envoy gave us some money just specifically to scholarships, we're able to match on top of that, because it's just, people have been so generous, and it's just been an incredible blessing for us. So we're gonna be able to do that. And then this year, a little bit closer to home for us is, I think you probably know, but John DeFranco, one of our original mentors, passed away this year from cancer. And so that's going to be a really special time. We've actually done, that's our second permanent scholarship. Chris Besdis also passed away from cancer. That was one that we're going to fund forever. And then we actually are going to do one for John DeFranco. And I was able to reach out to his family. And so they're going to actually come and help opening ceremonies, and they're going to also come and help to give that first scholarship away to somebody. And so that's going to be a special night just to remember him and all the mentorship that he's given us. But scholarships are going to be unreal again this year, and we're looking to do a couple surprise things. I think that'll be pretty fun.
I love that. Chris is the reason that I'm here right now, right?
Yeah. I think we talked about that on the last podcast. He's just, it's just, these people that put in. So he's the reason that honestly we're here. I mean, he put in so much effort and work for us that it just had such an impact for how this whole thing started.
Yeah. Beautiful humans that really just give more than they take. And it's an awesome thing. We're really lucky to be in the club with the people like that, It's so cool.
True.
Okay. And you give away scholarships at the party.
It'll be at the party. Yep. And you don't have to be present. We've already got that. We've actually already got the winners. We already have the finalists, and we already have the winners, with one exception. We're trying to finalize three exceptions. We're trying to finalize the American Airlines scholarship, which is, I won't tell you the amount yet, but, and then the Chris and John's, we're trying to finalize those people, but we have all of our finalists that are going to start getting noticed that they're at least a finalist, which is great. And then we'll announce the actual winners at the convention.
I get so excited. I'm getting nothing, but I'm like
I know.
Pins and needles. So excited.
Try to build excitement for it.
Man, listen, there's nothing better to me than somebody that just gets an opportunity to do something they never had a chance to do. So,
we get the stories. I'm telling you, it is the highlight. Becky and I, the highlight of our weekend. And I tried to. Last year, we had so many people come up to us, and I'm like, hey, you know what? Do me a favor. Go tell that person. I'll point to one of our red shirt volunteers, or I'll point to one of the people that work in the swag booths for us. Go tell them what you just told me, because I hear it all the time, and it keeps me going. It keeps me motivated. But when they go tell somebody who volunteered their first time, and they get to hear that story about, you've changed my family's trajectory. I was enlisted and I never thought it would happen. I didn't have a medical, and Wingman Med, you hooked me up with them, and they were helping me get my medical back. And so when we see those things, and it's just a small part of what the capability is and what we can do for these people, it is just cancer survivors. We've given scholarships. We've given scholarships to people who had multiple deaths in the family. All their money went to pay for that, multiple deployments. And it's more of a blessing for us. It's truly better to give than it is to receive, man. And it's been just incredible.
Yeah, gosh, man, you're absolutely right. I love that. You mentioned the red shirts. Are we still doing red this year?
Yeah, yep. All the volunteers will be in the red shirts. Classic, can't get away from that. And that's a two-part thing. When we're talking about what colors we wanted to do, one, it's really easy to see
Yeah.
the red shirt volunteers, and they really stand out. And I think that's one of the things that makes we hear every time from these airlines, it's like nothing they've ever seen before. And it's
I
almost
bet.
like we run it with military strategic,
Yeah.
movement. But the red shirts are something that we do. Also, that's the color for remembering people that are deployed. And so that's something, we always want to make sure that we're always remembering people that are still serving, that are still out there doing the work, our brothers and sisters. So it's a twofold thing, and it's come to be kind of a badge of honor for those folks, and it's been super cool.
For those that watch my show, with those that watch Ready for Pushback on YouTube, you will often see me wearing my red shirt. So I'm a big fan, and I've adjusted my lighting because it flushes me out, and I look like Mr. Orange. I look like I cheer for Syracuse. Yes. Do you have a jock? Is there like a jock there, like a OC that you guys are running?
Well,
since you're like it's all about deploying and going out there and serving and like battle plans and battle rhythms and stuff
we
for
do
volunteering.
actually. Funny enough, so yeah, we actually do. We have a room split out that's in the back where people can't see. So we have like our coordination center, and we come in. The volunteers come in on Friday, and we do a quick rundown of what everything's going to look like. And when I say I cannot tell you what they do, they bring such excellence and like there's a reason that we do as well as that we do, because they just come ready to work. They don't ask anything of themselves. And they just come ready to work. We do concierges for certain of the vendors, the sponsor levels, and that is something that the airlines go, we've never had anybody like that. We've never had it to where we didn't have to bring 55 people because we need 15 of them to go do lines for us. We provide all that, and it's because people are just willing to serve. So we do have an operations center where everybody brings their stuff in. It can be stored in there. We've got just drinks and stuff in the cooler so they can stay refreshed and keep going. And we try to take really good care of them. So they got a place to relax for a second and then just keep pressing. And it is, we move it hard. We started 2 years ago. I think it was 2 years ago. My Sean Searle, runs all the volunteers. He's the volunteer coordinator head. And he said, hey, I think, or maybe it was 3 years ago. He said, I think we probably need to get you an assistant at the convention, because it was like San Diego. If you saw me at San Diego, it was just, oh my gosh. And so that's one of those things. They assigned somebody to work for me and back to just go and do whatever we need and kind of keep, not that I'm trying to avoid, but sometimes I can't get caught up in a 20-minute conversation. And so it's been unreal. I can't tell you how amazing it is.
Listen, when you see Josh running around, just realize that he is the master of puppets. And so he's walking fast, and there's an entourage around him, and there are just people zipping and zapping. He's the sun, and everybody else is the solar system around him. Wave at him, say hi, but just know, like, he loves you. He's got to keep moving. That's
part of the reason we want to shake everybody's hand when they come through. That's something that we started doing at the very first one.
Yeah, that's so good.
700 people at the first one, and we shook every hand, and we try to shake every single hand that comes in because it's important for us that you all that are coming are there. It's really important for us.
Yeah.
To provide.
How about if people? There's some people in the chat that want to actually donate to scholarships. How can they do that?
The rtag.org/donate is super easy. There's options. One of the things that we're really trying to ramp up a bit, and again, we're quite a bit different. If you're giving a donation, it is not going in anybody's pocket. It goes 100% goes to scholarships. All of the airline and those funding, that external funding pays for all of this. And that was one of the things we wanted to start out is I never want to use somebody's hard-earned money donation for anything but passing it on to the next person. And we haven't done that to this day. In fact, we're about 10 times above that, the donations that have come in. But if you're looking for something to donate and you want to trust people that it's going, you put in $10 and that $10 is going to a donation, it is. And so we always encourage people to donate there. I donate, and the rest of my board donates, and the volunteers donate. And so I think it's super great. And it's a great way to fund scholarships for these people.
Yeah, absolutely. And we, our Spitfire team is going to be donating a whole bunch of all-in packages while we are there. We have not set up the final this and that's about how we're going to be doing that, but keep your eyes out. There are so many great things that that we will be doing just to help our fellow veterans as we keep going, man. So, what am I missing, Josh? What is the thing I'm not asking you before I let you go? I've already I told you it'd be 10, 15 minutes and it's already been like 25.
No, hey, you know, it's like you and I always can talk forever. I think
No.
it's like we got over to it's so good. No, I think donations is a big one, right? That's one that I hate talking about money. I know how it is. But then sometimes I look back and I go, man, we see again, I personally have heard hundreds of stories of people that are legacies and all this stuff. And listen, y'all, I know what money they make, but but it's like $10 a month. If you imagine $10 a month from even, we have 25,000 people just on social media, $10 a month from 5,000 of them changes the way we do scholarships. It changes the amount we can give away to people. And that's really what we're looking for. We want to just be as generous as humanly possible with what we're given. And so that's exciting. But yeah, no, I think we hit it all. I'm crazy excited. Early here, one thing is early registration. If you've already bought your ticket and you want to come in and get your early registration, that's going to be on Friday night. It's from 4 to 6. I hope my time is correct, or Brian will yell at me later, but I believe it's 4 to 6. The final schedule will be out tomorrow. It'll be on social media tomorrow, and then we'll post it on all the attendee portal and then get that ramped up. But we think this year is going to be an incredible year. We think that I would say, Nick's going to talk about it here in a second, but everybody's a little cautious about what's looking like in the airlines. And we know, I've only been around this fully for 7 years, but just the research and the people we talk to, we know that there's ebbs and flows. But there's so many options. It is not gone. It's not going away. You haven't missed a boat. You may have to temper your expectations a little bit, and that's great. But honestly, that just means you may have to work a little bit harder to make sure that you're standing out, which places like Spitfire are going to help you do. And that's for us, and that's the things that RTAG does. Is we don't want to just be a conference you attend to. We want to make you ready to take your next step and be at that next level. And so if you're just ready to bring it, I think it's a good time. Last of the year, we're looking at what they're doing next year, and it's going to be exciting. And we're announcing, we'll do it live on social media at the same time, but we're going to announce the convention, place of the convention next at the scholarship party. So
it's going to be in my yard, and you guys can help with the chickens.
That's right, in Nik Fialka's yard, and there'll be one vendor, and that's it.
and a line. Going to get a beer truck.
I like it. And taco truck. If you do beer and taco trucks, we're good to go. But no, we just are so. I know on behalf of Jim and Tim and myself, we're so blessed to be able to do this, that the months and months and year and thinning hair that it takes to get to this point every year is worth it. When we walk through the door and get to see it from the beginning, it's worth it, man. And get to hang out with people like you is so much fun.
Yeah, I love it. It is so good. Real quick, there was Casey dropped a little line in the chat here. Are you guys considering any kind of like official membership? Because for those of you, most everybody probably heard about this either from the WhatsApp chat or from the RTAG Nation Facebook page. Yeah. And those are kind of our two big places. We're hidden around the internet, other places as well, rtag.org and things like that. But any thoughts to doing like an official membership?
Yes, we are already we've been, as people know, we've been working on this for about 5 years. It's not as easy. It's a fairly complex, especially if you're trying to offer it for free for veterans. And that's what we want to do. We're hoping that we can offer it for free. It may cost a little bit of money, but we're hoping, we're working with some grant folks and some people because we don't think the veterans should have to pay for any of it. And that's really where we're gearing towards. But yes, we actually have built out the back end. Again, it's not a whole lot of people doing this. And so we are planning on, hopefully by next year, we will have an official RTAG membership with numbers and all of that. And some fun special stuff that's going to come as a part of that. And so that is on the roadmap, as IT people would say. It's on the roadmap and it should be coming soon. And yeah, we're looking really forward to getting that. I want to see another.
Yeah, I know they're going to keep coming.
Chat down here.
They're going to keep coming. There are I will, this is a good one too. Other than American and United, and is Delta doing meet and greets as well?
They did, and they filled up in about
5
12
seconds.
hours.
Yeah.
They put it on their website. We usually have a really good talking with them, but I know that everybody was just kind of slammed with getting the transition from some of the events, and so they posted it on their recruiting site a day early, and
Yeah.
then it got posted on RTAG Nation, and we didn't even have a chance to put an email out. It was full. I mean, it was gone. So other than those three, there's no other. FlexJet has something, and I'll make sure that I think it's already been on our site. They've already had signups. We'll make sure we get something out about that. But everybody else, from what I understand, is planning everything. They want to do everything in the booth, and then they do have all those bigger companies have interview rooms. So come ready to interview. We always say that. Come ready to interview, resume in hand, as Landon would say jokingly, spray some perfume on it or whatever, whatever you do. But come ready to interview. That is what we try to tell people every time. You can come, maybe dress up one day and dress down the next day if you hit your airlines. But I would say come ready to rock an interview and be prepared, because they are going to be doing interviews on the spot, just not the pre-signups.
Yep. And I'll talk more to that, and with my kind of tips and tricks about what to expect. A lot of people probably their first time. Heads up, RTAG is a 501c3. That means they're a nonprofit organization. So anything that you donate to them, you can claim on your taxes. So very important, especially if you get hired by a major airline. You are going to be literally jumping these tax brackets to the point where you're going to, if you do not donate money, the government is going to take more of it. And so there's this funny balance of like, well, I make a huge ton of money. Now I've got to figure out how to donate this money so that I don't have to pay a higher percentage in taxes. I clearly am not a tax person, but bro, this is the place.
We'll have people there.
We will.
And we've already given the government enough, in my opinion.
Yeah, hell yeah. They already had a pound of flesh. Jeez.
I'll take it and use it correctly, I promise.
Yeah, my CPAP reminds me of that every single night.
Yeah, I still haven't done mine yet. I'm still in like an idiot, but
soon, buddy. Soon.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Listen, that's another conversation.
I love it, but I'm still going strong. So
I know. I just retired, so I miss it. I can't wait. I was looking at my flight suits right here in the corner. I just miss it.
Yeah, I got my last promotion and I'm done, man. I think I got 2 or 3 more years left in me, and once I can stop being useful, I think I'm out.
Well, that was like year 2 for me. So that's cool. Buddy, thank you. Thank you for your generosity. Thank you for your dedication to this cause. It is truly one of the highlights of my year, and just I cannot tell you how much I appreciate what you do, and especially just being my friend, because you take my calls, you text me back, you let me know when things are going on, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate you. So thank you for spending time and coming on the show tonight, and thank you for
me, dude.
And give your lovely bride our regards, and we'll give you back to her.
I will. All right, thanks so much, and I look forward to seeing everybody there.
All right, dude. Joshua Lee is out. It's going to be awesome. We're going to talk about RTAG real quick, kind of what to expect. I'm going to give you an industry update. Then I'm going to answer your questions. We have 175 people in here right now. If you know somebody that needs to come in here, please do send them the link, send them the invite. And here's how we're going to do it. Casey, you can see Casey's name on the screen. He's going to actually take be managing the Q&A and sending me questions to answer, and I will go through those and knock them out. We only have limited amount of time. But if you guys want to talk about something important, you can send me an email. If I don't get to it tonight, send me an email, podcast@spitfireelite.com. And that's us. If you're coming in late to the show, I'm glad you're here. If you're looking for a job and you're going to RTAG, that means you're probably in here right now and you're ahead of the game. The first thing I want you to do is get a notebook. All right, here's my notebook right here. It's got my list. This has been my notebook since I started doing my interview process. I love this notebook. You need one to be writing down because you're going to have questions come and go. Things are going to go through your mind. You're going to want to jot things down. And the first thing you want to jot down is that you need to go to the RTAG Nation Facebook page. If you've not already been there, go ahead and go over there. And you're going to find a search bar, search for my name, Nik Fialka, N-I-K, right? And I have a post in there. My last post is a QR code that links you to the Spitfire Elite WhatsApp chat. And that, my friends, is one of the first nuggets that you need to have. We will have at Latino Pilots Association, we had over 400 people in it. At OBAP, I mean, there was pushing over 1,000 people, and RTAG is probably going to get even bigger. But it is a place for you. I mean, it just is such, all the information, the bleeding edge of information happens on that. And that, like, people always want to know how I'm plugged in on stuff. Like, I'm on about 50 of those. And like, you'll pay attention. People will post pictures from briefs and all sorts of like, hey, meet and greet this. Here's what happened. Here's what happened. Here's this. Here's that. That's what's up. Okay. Now, quick note to my military friends: you are coming to do a thing that you've never done, and that's try to get a job. And I need you to come 110% ready. And what does that look like? I want you to have a nice, clean haircut. It doesn't have to be a high and tight. You know, like, everybody know, like, you are one of a million people there that are veterans. So have your own personality. Wear a well-fitted suit. You've got time. If you don't already have a nice suit, if you bought it 10 years ago, you need a new suit. Go to Men's Warehouse, 100 and something bucks. Go do it to it. All right. The next thing you need is a nice, beautiful, like, conservative shirt. I like a white shirt. I like a blue shirt, and that's about it. I need a nice smooth tie that's not like, I don't need a bow tie like I'm going to wear. I already have my job. All right. You guys have a nice tie. I want you to clip your fingernails. I want you to clean under your fingernails. I want you to shave your face. Ladies, I want you to be conservative and lovely and graceful. Have well-fitted clothes. Nothing, you know, it's this funny balance between, like, conservative professional and something a little outside the box. Shoes. If you wear shoes, you need black shoes or brown shoes. You need nice fitted shoes that are polished. You need to shine those shoes, y'all. Great YouTube videos out there about how to shine shoes. Do it to it. Don't let it down. Don't come in with a dip in or a Zen or whatever, right? Do brush your teeth. Do bring a pocket full of Altoids. Keep those, like, anytime you're going to go talk to somebody, throw a couple Altoids in, crush them up, eat it up, get that fresh breath going, because you're going to be talking close. Those are things you need. Get your resume over to my booth. My guys and gals will be there to help you edit your resume, help you knock stuff out, be able to you know, like, use Google Drive or something like that. If you don't already have a resume, you can go to spitfireelite.com/podcast, and I have resume templates there that you can build off of. They are great. It's my resume, and it's just short and sweet, and you can just kind of expand on it. Don't put any pictures on it. I don't need your picture. I don't need, like, even your DFC. Like, I've seen those and things like that. If you have a Medal of Honor, let's talk about it. Give me a call. I'm interested. But if you don't, probably don't need that on your resume. At least a picture of it, right? Like an image. You like have it listed on there. That's cool. But so that's the name of the game. If you bring your family, we love it. Bring your family. It's a lot of fun. However, when it's time for you to do business, you need to be doing business by yourself, because you cannot interview with, you know, I got 5 kids. Can you imagine me walking in with sweet Anna and 5 kids and trying to interview for a job at a major airline or any airline? It just doesn't work. So send your spouse off with the kiddos, go do your thing. Like, you catch and kill everything and bag it and tag it and hang it up, and then invite them all back to celebrate. And that's how we're going to do it. We will have a ready room at the convention. It will be a private place for pilots only. No recruiters, no nothing. It'll have food and beverages. It'll be quiet, away from the floor. Your family is certainly invited. Bring the kiddos. It's so much fun. So just know we've got you covered there. So I'm going to go and talk to you about what I see coming on, right? Tron mentioned it earlier. If you want a job at American Airlines, you have one chance left, and that is at RTAG. For the past three conventions, 100% of the conditional job offers, 100% have been Spitfire Elite customers. Our team members are the best, and it's just been awesome to be a part of it and to see it. So that's what you need to know. Things have filled up fast. That doesn't mean that you can't come to the floor with your resumes and look for opportunities to have conversations. You never know when something opportunistic can happen. And so I want you to go and be encouraged that you can still meet somebody at Delta, somebody at United, somebody at UPS or wherever, or even Envoy or PSA. You can meet those people and have a very serendipitous conversation. So be ready. With that, don't drink too much. All right. I've seen the opposite happen because of drinking at the parties. So you are a tempered human. You're the person your mom thinks you are this weekend, and that's what I want you to remember. We are ending 2024, right? We're getting ready to go into the fourth quarter, and as we go into this week, the Fed is going to announce what the rate cuts are going to be. And this is important for our industry. And I want to tell you why. The Fed is talking about lowering the interest rate by 25 basis points or 50 basis points. So it's a 25% cut or a 0.25 or a 0.5 cut. And they see the labor market softening. They see inflation being tempered. And so depending on what cut they offer, will have a big effect on the stock market, which is not really a day-to-day problem for us. But what we want to consider is as these rate cuts come down, that makes the opportunity, the cost of money lower. And so they're going to make the cost of money cheaper. The interest rates will come down. And airlines will be able to have a better advantage, and lessors that lease aircraft, they will have better opportunities to borrow money in order to order aircraft. And that will be very effective. Manufacturing will also be doing the same thing. And so companies that make parts and pieces and things that go into things that are designed for aviation, this is a good news story right now. There are a lot of things that can affect that. One of them is the war in Ukraine, and the fact that like where rare earth minerals come from, and how those rare earth minerals go into the parts and pieces of an airplane and how that's used. So also broader spectrum on the northern part of Africa, and a lot of that stuff comes out of there too. So kind of keep your eye on international markets. Those are things that all these big levers, right? I tell you all of this because it trickles down to affect you and your job and your opportunity to get that job, right? So we are closing out the third quarter. We're going into the fourth quarter, and everybody's been really down this year. Everybody's been really dismal as far as pilots because they feel like the hiring boom is over and life is passing them by, and they don't have any opportunities. You see companies, you see the majors have pretty much they've hired the people that they need to this year. American's been hiring for a pool, and they're going to start putting those people in classes actually in not too far distant future. I don't want to talk outside of school about when that is, but they plan on reinstituting that relatively soon. United is pacing themselves kind of where they want to be. Delta is still interviewing, but they've already filled up their classes for this year, their new hire classes. But there are still people interviewing in Atlanta, and so there is still opportunity there. You're just not going to start. Everybody talks about 2,500 hours at Delta. Really, that's still low hours. I know it seems further away from everybody that is trying to deal with the fact that their There's not a whole lot of busy flying, especially since we're in the fall and things are slowing down as far as flying in companies. If you're at a regional or an LCC, all of those things are affecting how you can get your hours. I will tell you that your flexibility, your ability to get to the junior bases, those are the things that will affect you. If you're looking for that job, again, your flexibility to be able to look outside of what you typically would be looking at. If you live in Fort Worth and you really want to fly for Envoy, like you're not going to have a chance. They're not hiring right now. It's not going to be your thing. But you know who's right there is JSX. Maybe you've got the opportunity to go fly with JSX. Southwest, I don't think you're going to see them hiring all of 2025 since we're staying in that DFW area. It's just the people I've been talking to, they're having a hard time. There are other things at play. So if you're focused on Southwest, 225, Destination 225 is the only way to go. And from what I understand, they're only going to be, I'm not going to say how many that I've been told, but they're only going to be starting a few classes in 2025 with Destination 225 people. But they're still pulling people into it. So consider that if that's your thing. Regionals are tricky. Y'all, regionals are tricky. If you listen to the Ready for Pushback podcast, you know I hate a contract. You know I hate a contract. And do you know why I hate a contract? Because it's a non-prorated contract. It's totally in the favor of the company and 0% in the favor of the pilot. And it is just, without getting too strong words, it's a bad call. And it's a hard call to make for a lot of people and their families. And I want you to know that no matter what you make for that call, I support you. However, gosh, it's just so hard. If you want to talk about it offline, give me a shout. We'll talk about it. I can't, y'all. These $80,000 after 5 years, screw that, man. Forget about it. It's nuts. Companies, let's talk about flow. Flow doesn't happen at an American Airlines wholly owned until they start classes back. Once that happens, the flow will slowly start back up. So if you feel like you're trapped right now at one of the 3 AA wholly owned, I get you, I feel you. It will start coming back around again, beginning of 2025. That's all indications point to that. The ULCC market is really, really, really having a hard time across the board. Everybody knows what's going on at Spirit. Breeze is having a hard time. JetBlue's having a hard time. Frontier's having a hard time. Allegiant's having a hard time. Varying levels of hard times. Okay. All these are not created equal, but there's an overcapacity of seats available right now. And when there's an overcapacity of seats, the opportunity to make money in a low-cost carrier business model does not exist. And so because of that overcapacity of seats available, the revenue for available seat mile is really, really down for the ULCCs. And you can see it you can hear about the base closures like Austin closing for Allegiant. You can see the schedules are not as full at places like Frontier. They're not flying as many hours and as many lines. There's less opportunity and less frequency. So those are things that are affecting that market. All that being said, as we go into 2025, as I didn't talk about Flex and NetJets, they're still kind of plugging away. They're doing good things. Rich people are still rich. It's good. Keep it up. If you know any rich people, I could use a free jet. So heads up. I love them. They're plugging away. They're keeping doing their thing. UPS is quietly hiring. FedEx, not a chance, y'all. Nothing. We got to get this contract sorted first. I talked to a lot more people that are leaving FedEx that have been flying for them than are looking to man, this is still my kind of dream job. And it just depends on your family and where you are and where you live and how you're doing. If you're low on the seniority list, life can be really hard. But if you're on the 777, life can be pretty sweet. So it just depends on what aircraft you're on and how you're doing. Big Purple's one of my favorites, so I'm hoping things get sorted and get get going back for them. The Alaska and Hawaiian merger, man, that's going to be a match made in heaven. We're gonna have the hula girl and um, the guy on the Alaska. I don't know his name, but those guys are going to be together. That's going to be a really good union. I think that'll really help out Alaska, especially with um, their flights to Hawaii. Their entire structure. I think that's a really, really good match, and it's nice to see the Justice Department letting that go through. Um, and you know, people will say it probably should have been JetBlue and Spirit too. You know, you can see what happened afterwards. It's pretty lousy that they blocked it, and I think that's probably why there was absolutely no opposition from DOJ with that airline. So they kind of were riding the coattails of that poor decision from earlier. So I can that's that. Looking at 2025, things I like right now looks like things are going to be real good. Looks like things are going to start bumping up. Looks like things are going to start moving along again. American is going to open that faucet up. They're going to start hiring people and getting them on the streets. They're looking like their next 2 years are big time retirements. I think they're looking at like 1,800 ish to hire. And United is looking to bump up their numbers and keep. They have this steeper growth profile that they're trying to grow. They've got a lot of wide bodies on order, so it requires a lot of pilots. They've got a good amount of retirements. Things are going well for them, and you can probably expect. Now they've got everything sorted out. Beginning of the year, you remember they had a stop because the FAA had some safety conversations with them, so that was all worked out. Justin Ritter and his team over at United are just crushing, and they're doing great things. Delta, their numbers, they're actually going to release their numbers in not too much longer, and I'm working on trying to get ahead of that. They have a 5% growth rate year on year, which means you can likely expect a very similar number to what they did this year, and which is great, a great opportunity. But there are going to be a lot more pilots in competition for those jobs. And here's why. In 2022, they were really hiring to replace the early releases, the early retirements from COVID. And that was really hard. And then there was this huge spike in demand from customers, and then this big gap, and they had to fill this chasm with pilots, and they filled them. And now they've got to manage for orders and manage for aircraft orders and manage for retirement. And everybody's thinking like Nick hasn't talked about Boeing yet, and they're on strike. What the heck? So with that, you're going to see kind of that 2,500 mark for the majors creep in more and more and more. But it'll adjust. And if you're not there yet, that doesn't mean you don't get the job. That means you need to show up. That means you need to have other things besides flight time that make you better, make you different. You need the leadership. You need the decision making. You need the volunteerism. You need the things that make you a special unicorn. Like if you can do that and articulate that, you can get hired way under 2,500 hours, man, like all day long. The Boeing strike, is it good? Is it bad? I think it's okay. I think this strike right now, let me preface, I am super pro work, pro labor, pro union work. Like those guys and gals, they've got to get paid. They've got to get what they need, and Boeing owes it to them. And as that happens, I think that Boeing is secretly glad that they have this strike, because nothing's happening on the 737 line anyway. And so they're in this weird zone. Next week is when they start renegotiating. They go back to the table with a federal mediator. So that'll happen next week. But right now, they're just like everybody's still on strike. So that's all I want to really say about that. Hearts go out to the men and women that are certainly turned down that TA and know what's best for them and their families. You got to be able to pay your bills. So I think 2025 right now, like if you snapshot it right now, things are looking good. Things are looking good. Like y'all tell your friends, keep buying tickets. It's looking good. All right. So that I think is going to do it for the industry update part. And we've been talking for about an hour, almost an hour. I'm going to take some questions. And if you like, whatever it is, you want to talk about hiring. You want to talk about specific things to you. Think about where you sit, and whatever you want to talk about the convention. You want to talk about the Olin Mills background, like how cool that looks. It's nice. So here we go. Scholarships. Let's see here. So if you have it in the Q&A, throw it in the Q&A, and Casey's going to feed me questions. Has Delta posted any Meiji dates? Yes, the Meijis is my code word for meet and greets. And yes, and we talked about that filling up. Cadet programs at regionals, that's a good question. Not going to RTAG, but thinking about FAPA and Dallas. Any thoughts on whether it has value? Yes, I think it has value reaching out and getting involved with those cadet programs early. A lot of those people that run those cadet programs are really interactive on LinkedIn. So good opportunity to reach out there and to get into it. If you happen to know somebody that's in a cadet program and you want to go that route, like that's a really, really good place to go. I love a cadet program, especially if 1,500 hours and turbine PIC and all of those things. It's a long walk. If you can't buy your own plane, that's a great way to supplement it, and it gives you a little bit of peace of mind. Also, I will temper your expectations a little bit. Think about the people that are in the cadet program for American Airlines right now, and the fact that they have the flows stop. Like everything kind of stops whenever hiring quits, and then slowly starts moving in and stops, and slowly starts moving in and stops. So if somebody's telling you 6 years or 5 years or 8 years or whatever, nah, man, it's like so many ups and downs. You can probably expect just a little bit of a longer road, but that's okay. Redshirt volunteers are all signed up. All those volunteer things happen early in the year, like I want to say June or July or something like that. So you've got to be on the RTAG page and get things going. But do that. If you're not a veteran, can you pay them for a headshot? If you're in the convention, you get a headshot. You can just go in there, from what I understand. If not, I'll pay for a headshot because I totally messed it up and I was totally wrong. So let me know. I seriously will. But once you go in, it's they're not there to check IDs and stuff. Just go get dressed, look good, go get a headshot. Prepare to stand in line. Prepare to stand in line. That is a long dang line because they're so good. They are really good. That's one of my faves. All right. Depending on the specific airline, but do you have an idea what would be considered a competitive hours for FOs at a regional? Okay, so it depends on the regional, right? It totally depends on the regional because you got to I also should talk about this. The RTP thing is that faucet, it turns on and turns off. It's currently turned off. It doesn't mean it won't turn back on, but I wouldn't hang my hat on it. Another thing people have been thinking about is the ATP CTP part of the house. If some companies are still offering an ATP CTP course, like getting hired there, but that's another one of those faucets. Like they can turn that off and just say, hey, we require the ATP CTP to be already done, because it's no skin off their back to just give you the ATP when you take your check ride. But they're still looking, the FO ranks kind of ebb and flow as the captains come in and get hired out. Now that it's the back half of the year, everything's slowed down. Everybody's kind of fat on FOs, and so they're not really hiring. But I would be ready for the beginning of next year, like that 1,500 to low 2,000, like 2,000. Like you could certainly get in there. Restricted ATP with 750 military people that have that. Maybe you did some C-12 stuff or whatever the crazy thing was you did when you weren't doing helicopter stuff. Find a place that fits, but cast a wide net with that. If you happen to be a multi-crew, multi-engine airplane pilot, then you can use 500 of your hours to count toward your 121 captain minimums. And so you could certainly look for a direct entry captain program. All that I think that faucet will open more and more as the year progresses. All right, 60 Sierra guy, what's up? 1,150 hours out of the cockpit for 12 years. Bro, I got you. I know. Got back in the seat, and I'm a check right away for my multi-engine rating. Woo, let's go. What would it look like for RTAG for me? So I'm trying to think where I was. You're probably right around where I was when I got hired by Envoy. I did my multi-engine. I got but Envoy paid for my ATP CTP. I think a couple things. I think if you can't, I think RTAG's a hard time, but cast a wide, like go all over at RTAG and start talking to people. There will be a quite a big amount of people in that sub 1,500 hour but can still get that restricted ATP. I would think my conversations, especially as the year ticks over, is I would get a lot of cards from people, and then I would just like keep pinging them as it goes through as we start the new year and stuff like that. That could be helpful. Look to if you're a CF5, if you did a stint at Whiting or something like that, if you can do that, look for anything. I know guys that went and flew Caravans or Twin Otters or whatever. If you're a 60 Sierra Bubba with 1,100 hours, that tells me you probably have people attached to you like I do, and that's awesome. It also restricts your flexibility just a little bit. So you got depends where you live, what's around you. Go to the local FBOs and stuff like that. Join the local business aviation groups that you can find. That's a good idea. And maybe you can cast a net into that little realm as well, and that would be awesome. Talk to the people that sell airplanes. Meet them too. You never know. You could fall into something. They know who's buying planes and who needs pilots. It's a good idea. Let's see. So that's a good one. 2 years ago at RTAG, I was told by the Delta recruiters, the table, not the Meiji, that as at the time a newly minted regional Delta connections captain, I'm not their target audience for hiring. That's correct. This was they were pulling, let me move my mouse here. During 2,400 hours per, 2,400 hirings per year hiring wave. What do you see as the current climate and outlook as things have slowed? Currently a regional line check airman. What's up? Hell yeah, man. Trying to make my resume shine. Well, that line check airman thing is the first part, man. Getting Delta is really, they don't like fishing in their own pond right now, and they're probably not. That really hurt them, and I don't think you can expect them to try to fish in their own pond. But there are ways to make it out. I would join. What about joining Endeavor's recruiting team? Something like that, unless it's Delta Connections. If you're like SkyWest or whatever, those are certainly ways you can do it. Also, opportunities to cast somewhere else. Look at opportunities at United and American and just go, And I get it. I get it. Doesn't mean you can't come back and try and keep your app in at Delta and keep it updated. You certainly could. You got to look at how close you are to flowing, right? Like, what does that look like? Is it very far or is it very close? If it's very close, maybe you just hang out. But if it's really far, maybe it's worth it to kind of go and then hope to try to get back. But if you do and you don't get back, then you just got to be motivated and know that you're in a great spot. So many good airlines, and it's like picking a favorite child, right? So I don't have a great answer for you, but that's what I think. So good job being a line check airman, bro. That's freaking, let's go. All right. Let's see this one. If I end up getting a Meiji with American and you tied at the same time, how can I tackle that situation? Oh, United at the same time, American and United at the same time. If you have if they're at the same time block, you're going to have to, you're probably going to have to not go to one of them, because there's so much in the background, people wanting to get in. and want, like, there's so many weights, like you just give one up, you're not going to get another shot at it. So that's of importance to know that. I think that you should pick the one, pick the one you love the most. That's what you got to do, man. That's it. All right. You guys know, but I lost my ability to fly in the military due to an injury. I have enough hours to get my restricted ATP, but I fall short of the 250 of A time of the fixed wing time that can be used to PIC as sole manipulator of the controls. Does it need to be signing for the jet? I will say that you need to read the regulation in the FAR specifically when it comes to the restricted ATP hours and how they connect, because there have been I don't want to talk outside of school and give you the wrong answer. That's the first part of it. The second part of it is there's been a lot of gnashing of teeth, especially at SkyWest. If any of you bubbas over there have seen the train wreck that's happened in the training department, you need to know that the FAA had to actually like get involved and make a statement about PIC time and how you log PIC time. And I think that you need to read the FARs and be specific about it. And there's probably other people in here that are closer to that boat. I'm a long way away from that piece of the pie, and so I haven't examined it. So you got me. Got me. All right. What are my thoughts about emailing a CJO from another? No, I don't even need to finish reading this question. So the question is this: what are your thoughts about emailing a CJO from another company to the target airline's recruiting team, trying to get the airline's attention with the other airline CJO? That is a bad look. I'm glad you asked here in a safe spot, right? I love you enough to say that. Like, it's, I have seen, the reason I say that is because I have seen a lot of people get smashed with that and just like kind of blacklisted from that company. And that's not where you want to be, right? You want to be loving on that company. And so think about it like this. If you are going on a first date with a boy or a girl, and that boy or girl really likes you, and they're like, "Hey, we should go steady," and like you're like, "Yeah, this is awesome," and then like the homecoming queen or the homecoming king steps into the picture, and you're like, "Man, maybe I should tell them I'm going steady with this other person." Maybe like, what is that like? How does that feel? It's the same thing. This is like literally, this is like job tender. Like this is where we are. We're like airline job tender. And so like be that, like I said earlier, be that person your mom thinks you are. All right. So I'm not coming down on you, but I'm just kind of giving you how they look. Cause like when I talk to Dina at American or Justin or Eric at America, at Delta, when I talk to them or any of the directors of hiring, if we're sitting around having a beer and kind of chatting about it, like all of a sudden these stories of like, you'll never believe this one, you'll never believe that one, those things start to come in. And so that's it. That's it. You're the best. Thank you for asking that question, because I think that's so important to get out there. That was good. All right. When they do on the spot interviews at RTAG, are they usually just an HR interview? Are they doing a technical as well? It kind of depends on the company. They might send you some stuff, but it's not going to be anything like super out of the ordinary. I would know how to brief an approach. I would know how to brief a departure. I would know how to talk about how to taxi out, right? Looking at hot spots and that kind of stuff, and maybe company pages or NOTAMs, like things like weather, terrain, those things, general overarching things. If you're interviewing with United and maybe they'll send you a technical package or not. I don't think United does. I'm not going to say, because I haven't talked to Justin about it recently, but I do think just go over stuff, be prepared, be the best. That's not going to be the thing that sinks you. Let's say you go to FlexJet and they love you and they want to hire you. They are going to hire you. However, they're going to ask you to do the simulator. Y'all, be ready. Be ready day one. If you run across a company that's like, "Hey, we really like you, but we want you to do a simulator." Also, I have a simulator down in Fort Worth that I'll buy you an Uber and you just go down with me and we'll go do the simulator right now, or we're going to go do the simulator tomorrow morning. Like, be ready. All right. You need also bring your logbooks, bring your medical, bring your certificates, bring all your paperwork, bring all your shit. Keep it in a nice bag. Have a nice folder for your resume stuff. Don't have it crumpled. I've seen so many people walking around with like a crappy duffel bag and they pull it out like they've just been like working out or something. Like, y'all, if you represent me, you represent my Spitfire brothers and sisters, like we are elite. It's in the name for a reason, right? So I want you to come Alabama football. I want you to come Georgia football. I want you to come ready to be the best and think about what it means to be the best. Be put together the best, be confident the best, look the best, smile the best, talk the best, be articulate the best, have your resume in a nice folder the best. Like all that. That's where we are. All right, let's see. We've got what do. All right, on the spot interviews. Will a type rating make ATP minimums pilot stand out? Hell yes. I found a couple 142 places out there that take the GI Bill. Many thanks for the webinar. You're welcome for the webinar. And yes, an AT, like having a type rating is back in favor. And that's a good thing. Caution. There could be a disturbance in the force. I'm actually getting ready to record an interview with a cool guy who's one of us RTAGers who kind of has gone through the process. And he just went through getting his ATP, paid for it, and got the type rating and got a job. I'm not going to give away my whole webinar or my whole interview because it's a dang good interview. But he started with like a dozen people and 2 or 3 passed. All right. So you got to go into flight school mode. Like you got to go into the mode where, you're just a little too fat for the PRT, right? That's what you got to go do. You got to like start cutting weight. You got to start getting ready. You got to start doing all the things so that you can pass and like have no distractions. Like that needs to be your primary. If you're going to go do that and you're going to spend the money to do it, man, go 1,000%. That's what I want to see you do. Cause I only need us to be successful. Cause that's the people that are not here are the people that are not successful and you are successful. So hell yes. Like, let's go. All right. I'm pushing 1,200 hours. Dude, I love that 1,200 hour mark, man. Just shy of 25 hours of multi-time. Listen, isn't multi-time so expensive? How do people do it? I don't, I don't qualify for our restricted ATP for military service, but absolutely love to wind up at United in the long run. Would be a good idea for me to come to the convention and start spreading my name and resume around. I don't think it would matter for United. However, okay, let's talk about it. It costs $1,000 to go to the convention. Like I understand it's free to vets and it's all the things, but it's $1,000. If you're not already flying for the airlines, like for me, I pack my bag, I jump on the jet, I show up in Fort Worth. I got to buy an Uber, I got to buy a hotel, and drinks and food, right? But y'all like have to buy tickets, and those tickets are going to push you up to about $1,000 to go to this event. So that being said, if you didn't use that $1,000, where would it go? And how could you leverage that $1,000 in a better way? Maybe it's a good idea, maybe not. If you go to the convention, my focus would be looking for people that are, for companies that kind of fit your niche where you are and where you're going to be in 6 months, because you want to know those 6-month away people pretty well. But if a better use of that money is to make a donation to the RTAG charity and then use the rest to fly, like maybe that's a good idea. So weigh that out, talk to the people in your life that are important, and like literally battle board it, right? Like sit down, get your notebook, write your pro con list, make your choice, and then tear up that pro con list and go with your choice and don't turn around. I say it on my show. Don't look back. Like just make your decision and just go. All right. So that's what I think. For those that haven't been to an RTAG and don't have any meet and greets, how should you slice it up? How should you tag other than running around and throwing resumes at every booth, asking for an imaginary friend? That was a great one. That's a great question. Okay. The first thing you got to know is be there early. The line, holy hell, y'all, that line, there's 5,000 people waiting to get in that convention center. The first thing they do, they play they do the national anthem, that kind of stuff. It's very veteran heavy, focus on the beginning part of RTAG. Just, it's a great thing. It's beautiful. It's amazing. And there's if you're far back in line, you can't hear shit. You're just standing there. If you don't show up early, you're going to be wrapped around the building, and it's going to take 30, 45 minutes for you to kind of like make your way up. Cause I mean, Joshua and Tim and everybody, like, they're shaking hands, they're meeting every single person there. Like, it's awesome, but it's going to take a while. That being said, what's your plan of attack? Bring a stack of resumes. If you have a laptop, probably a good idea to bring a laptop too, just to have. Bring your power cord. Don't forget your power cord. There are a lot of people that have had to go. I brought my laptop, and so many people were using it, like overheated, because it was so much stuff going on. People were surprised at, like, oh, this guy wanted to talk to me and wanted me to fill out an application, whatever. So look at the list of people that are going to be there ahead of time, and then cross-reference that with their websites and what they're doing and what they're thinking, and then cross-reference that with LinkedIn and find out who you can meet in the next 3 weeks on LinkedIn without being crazy and weird about it, but just, link up with them. If you are not already on LinkedIn, you need to be, and you need to go to my profile, and you need to copy, and you need to paste, and you need to make it your profile. Change picture, weird, but then that, like, literally, I have a legit profile. I think it's really good, and you should have a legit profile too. I'll definitely brag on my LinkedIn. So then go and do that. Yeah, you're not running around every booth. Like, everybody's gonna have tchotchke shit they're giving away, like sunglasses and like letter openers and hangover kits. Grab a couple hangover kits. But think about, like, make a plan of attack on have your inside your folder, draw out where you think, like, hey, I want to go to this booth, and put little boxes beside them and check them off as you go. Then, like, so that's your first round, is going to look there. Pick the more obscure ones first, because the big, and like, everybody sprints to Delta, everybody sprints to United, everybody sprints to my booth too, just to high five me. But that's the more obscure names. They have less people there, and they're more willing to talk to you, more interested. So, like, talk to them when they're fresh. Another one is maybe near the end of the convention, like when the day's going on, like, there's way less people around, so there's better opportunity to get out there and get yourself in front of people. That's what I think. That's what I think about that. Let's see here. I hope I answered all that. Hit me up if I didn't answer it all. Okay. Would it be money well spent to sign up for your all-in package if we aren't yet ready to apply to the majors? All right. I'm 800 hours total time. Awesome. And I'm a regional cadet. Awesome. What level of preparation do I need right now? Well, if you're coming to RTAG, think about why you're coming to RTAG. All right. I will say, if you are hoping to get something out of RTAG, it's better to be ready than to have to get ready. And for those of you that listen to my show, hopefully you all listen to my show, for crying out loud, man. Like, let's go. For those of you that do, I say that. I didn't get it from me. It's not me, it's Tron. Like, that's Tron saying. And he's right. Because, the answer is yes. Is Spitfire good for you? The answer is yes. I will also say 15% off discount. Like, we seldom give those out, so it's a good deal. It's here's my pitch. It never expires. Once you're in, you're in. It's great information for your academics. Like, anybody that's a Spitfire member, if you disagree with me, please tell me write it in the Q&A. Like, I guarantee, like, it's good community. It's a lot of fun. It's really cool. And it gives you the opportunity to kind of slowly turn up to a boiling point, because like once you reach that boiling point, you are like, you can start this podcast. And once you reach that boiling point, you can take any question that anybody tosses your way. It doesn't matter if it's an interview question, or you're at church and somebody asks you something weird, or you're in an odd conversation at a bar. You can articulate yourself around a question better to be more impactful and tell the better version of yourself, clearer, more succinct. And that's what I think. So, should you do it? That totally depends on where you are and with the money in your pocket, because you've got to, I keep coming back to that family aspect of this, because I feel like nobody ever talks about, everybody's very transactional about stuff, but you need to know what you can afford, how you can afford it, when you can afford it. And I want you to know that first, because I don't want you to put yourself in extremis just to hang out with me and my friends. Like, we'll still hang out with you. But do the thing that's right for you. So I don't do sales pitches. I just do like, be pragmatic and like trust your gut. All right. That's what I say. Let's see here. Service specific lapel pins for retirees. Nick says no. Other people say yes. Everybody knows RTAG. Like, yeah, I support the vets. I support, I do blah, blah, blah. Like, I would, if you're an immigrant, I like the idea of wearing your immigrant thing. If you have a silver star kind of thing, maybe not, with the military medal thing. I see a lot of that. I feel like it's not a conversation starter, right? Like I wear an Ethiopian pin on my Delta captain uniform, on my tie. I wear a little Ethiopian pin because I want to start a conversation about Ethiopia, because I'm a 6'4" white guy and I don't look like I'm from Ethiopia. I don't wear I don't have the other stuff, but that's just me. I'm not ashamed of my time in the Navy. Like, I freaking love that stuff. I do have one little set of wings on my rollerboard, but on a suit, I like a plain suit with nothing. I don't like a pocket square. I don't like French cuffs. But I do like a starch shirt, y'all. What's up? Starch the hell out of your shirt. Heavy starch, cardboard starch, make it happen. But I don't think like the extra pin, the flare, um, you don't work for the State Department. So that's usually who wears it, or a politician. When I was at Booz Allen, people didn't wear that stuff unless they were going to Capitol Hill. It's just kind of how it was. It was like very conservative. So that's what I think. Probably spent a long time on that. I don't think so, but it's not going to hurt you. Don't wear shit, man. Like, y'all don't wear anything like, that could like spark some kind of like reaction, right? Don't wear something reactionary on there that's like, what I don't even know what it could be, but like, be careful what you choose. If you choose something, be careful what you choose. All right. I'll still support you even with it. And you can come like point at it and be like, I decided to wear it. And I'll be like, all right, that's cool. We're cool. All right. Odd place to ask for a specific question. Okay, here we go. Nick mentioned contracts. Frontier has a contract with a 60K prorated payback if you leave before 2 years. All right, that's way different, y'all. I am considering that company since they have a domicile in DFW and day schedule. That's true. I figure if I get a call from my dream company within 2 years, Frontier, pay back the 60K. I completely agree with that. Let's talk about a couple things. $60,000 is going to be taxed at 28%. So let's say 30%. So like $20,000 of that is going to be taxed out. So you're going to get a rough check for 40 grand. When you if you left that next day, they would want 60K back. So realize that you're going to have to account for the tax stuff on the back end with your tax man. 2 years, 60K prorated, got it all day long. Now, what if Frontier shuts down that DFW base, just like Allegiant shut down Austin? What then? I need you to have a backup plan for what you and your family are going to do if that shuts down, because that base is relatively new. That base started within 2 years, well within 24 months from now. And so just be careful and understand how junior it is too. Okay. You need to know how long it's going to take you to hold it as an FO if you go there, because commuting can get real tough at Frontier. So just think about it. DFW is a great place to be, though. Go Horned Frogs. All right. These are good, y'all. How many people are here? 130? All right. Once we get down to about 100, I'll be calling it a night. All right. Survival of the fittest. Do I need to have my applications in the system to benefit from a meet and greet? Yes. I've heard the companies want you to attend the conferences and seek them out. Yes. But I've also heard that in competitive environments, they want to see that you've attended at least 2 conferences. Yes. But I'm unsure if you get credit for those conferences unless you have the app in with the company. No. So thanks for the great webinar. You're welcome for a great webinar. All right, dude, let's talk about this, or dudette, whoever you are. Let's talk about this. The right way to handle this is get an application in the system. Our guys, if you are part of our team, you know our application review guys and gals are really good, and we still have time to get you good before RTAG. Doing a pilot application is the worst experience other than, it's the worst experience other than getting furloughed in your aviation career. That is like the worst, or being a mishap, I guess. But like that is such a hassle. It is such a mess. It is such an uphill battle. I hate it. It's a mess. But the good news is soon there's going to be a solution to that that I can't talk about yet, but keep your ears to the track. That application things are coming up for a big change very soon that I'm excited to talk about. To get to your question, if you don't have an app in, you can't get credit for nothing, right? So it doesn't matter if they see you twice. It doesn't matter if you marry their sister. Like it's just gonna be like, okay, cool, good to see you. But how each company does credit for that slightly differently. And I know you just take a look at there's no value in you being there to target somebody if you don't already have an application in there. So some places you may not qualify, right? Maybe you need to have 1,500 hours to apply, but you have 800 hours and you can't apply. Like you can't get there until you do get there, right? So that's that. I hope I answered your question. Cool. I saw a post on RTAG Nation that Allegiant is hosting separate hiring event in Orlando later in October. Does Spitfire, I'm sorry if it's getting loud, somebody's opening the garage door. Does Spitfire Elite offer an interview prep for Allegiant? If you have a job interview, I don't care if you are interviewing to be the Secretary of Defense. If you have an interview, like this is the place where you learn how to articulate yourself different than anywhere else. It doesn't matter if you're going to interview with Walmart or Dollar General or Georgia Pacific or, pick your, like Booz Allen, whatever it is, the idea of an interview and how to capitalize on that. Like that's what we do. Yes to Allegiant. The answer is absolutely yes to Allegiant. But I don't teach you to answer Allegiant. I know what they ask and I know how they ask, but what if they change it? I need you to be able to think on your feet. And that's what we do. You are able to pivot and to answer with confidence and crush because of, I've been talking for an hour and a half. And it's all because I know how to speak and I know about myself and I understand the depth of things better because Spitfire gave that to me. So yeah, you can certainly get ready and good luck in October with Allegiant. I think it's a great company. Tell Jimmy Real I said, what's up? He's a good kid. All right. Let's see. I have about 1,500 hours of total time. I'm wanting to land at my forever airline at Southwest. Well, you've got time to build hours, that's for sure. They have a pathway, destination 225. Do you know why it's 225? For those of you that do, high five. For those of you that don't, it's because 225 is the southwesterly heading on the compass. So very sneaky. Destination 225, which exists to take pilots that don't have their ATPs and obtain it. That's right. And you'll be doing it down at Sky Warrior in Pensacola, Florida, with the Ziegler family. If selected, it's an automatic spot as an FO once you get the ATP through them. Do you think I should hold off and wait till hiring Southwest opens back off or apply for that destination 225 or get my ATP and apply to Southwest through the conventional method? Ha! This is a very good question. And I think I talked to this in earlier, but Southwest, I don't anticipate them hiring in 2025. I just don't. There's too much going on with the Elliott Group and too much wailing and gnashing of teeth. Boeing's not providing aircraft, and there are a lot of other external factors. Is it still a great company? Absolutely, it's a great company. My two best friends fly there, and it's great. The Destination 225 program, from what I understand, will be the only way into Southwest for a while. And so if you want to get into Southwest and you've got the glide slope to be able to slow roll it for 18 months, 12 to 24 months maybe, then yeah, it's a good opportunity. I would say don't let any other doors close on you. Like make sure you open all the doors, but do pursue. I think it's a good place. So yeah, go for it. Letters of rec might not be ready before RTAG. Listen, get on your people, man. Just like shake their tree. Should I submit the rest of the application to Airline Apps, make sure that's in the system, and add my letters of rec later? Absolutely. Do not wait on these people we used to fly with that don't care about us anymore. Listen, man, I was the king of digging up letters of rec. I mean, yeah, I get you, but don't let that slow you down. I thank you for mentioning that because a lot of people let that slow them down. And I love that you asked that. So just get that stuff submitted and run down and just start texting those jerks. Like send them really mean gifts, and that'll help them go faster. Help them out. Write a thing for them, send it to them, and say, hey, here's what I think of me and you and what we did, and like here's a template for you, and send that on. Don't send the same template to everybody. Write a different thing and send it. That's really helpful. That's when I do a letter of rec for people, I ask them to do that because I don't have time. All right. With pilot demand evolving in the regionals in 121, is it possible, likely for pay and benefits, et cetera, to go backwards in the coming years? This is a great question. Seems unlikely that regional pay will remain so good for years to come. Interested in your opinion. I think the first company that would do that would be American Airlines, and they're wholly owned. I think that they are the company that is in the greatest need financially that currently does that. Can it happen? Yes. Right now they're contractual, and I think we're more than halfway through. I think we're more than halfway. I think it was a 3-year contract for most of these places that contractualized it. But it's going to be hard to walk that back. Depends on the economy. Really, all this depends on the economy and how well people are doing and the need for pilots. If they don't need pilots and they can deal with a really unhappy workforce, then yeah, maybe. But those negotiating committees, man, I don't envy those guys. I think that it can't last forever. That's what I think. I don't think we're going to go back to like $35 an hour like I was making, or 40 or 45. But I think you could see like a 20 or 30% drop in it. I think for those of you that can get to the regionals right now, like good on you and God bless you. I think the bigger money, like the line check airman stuff and the sim instructors, there's some big money for those people. Those could certainly go away easier than just general pay rates. Something to think about. I don't know. I hope I'm wrong. Man, that'd be good to be wrong. All right, looping back to the old ones that we skipped. Cool. So besides FedEx and UPS, how do I feel about cargo carriers like Atlas and Kalitta? I think Atlas is great. Kevin is the director of hiring over there. Kalita has been doing good. Omni, Western Global, ACMI carriers. Those are auxiliary carriers that just other than Delta and FedEx, they do some contract like cargo carrying and stuff like that. Great companies. You gotta really want to be on the road for 2 weeks at a time. If you do, or hey, if you have a company that's on 36th Street in Miami, it's a higher risk place. There are companies that kind of come and go in Miami, and so always have one eye out looking for another opportunity in case for some reason your company shuts down, i.e. Southern and all those other guys that have done in the past few years. So something to think about. I don't think I don't know if United's gonna be classing people up before April 2025. That's tricky. That's a tricky one. And this is another good one here. This will be my last question, I think. And then I'll let you guys go. We've been talking for an hour and 35 minutes. So is it possible or okay to do in-dock and then drop mill leave before sim training, looking at a possible deployment mid next year? That is fine. I really recommend if you have control over that, I would recommend getting through training and getting a little bit of seasoning time on there. That's so important. I think leaving and then coming back cold and also not having your classmates to lean on makes it really hard to get through there and be successful. So consider that. Keep that in the back of your mind as you do. People do it. I waited. I like when I got hired at Delta, I waited. I waited about 5 months after IOE maybe before I took military leave, like big military leave. I take a day or two here, but like deployment stuff, if you can't handle it, if don't not get a job offer because you're like, oh, I'll just do it after deployment. Like, no, get the job offer, do the deployment, deal with everything else later. But if you have a choice, like I'd rather you choose to do some flying. So that's what I think. Yeah. So that's it. That's it for tonight, y'all. I do have that link. We do, Casey, if you can put that back in the chat one more time for everybody in the Q&A for the Spitfire discount, 15%, ends at midnight tomorrow. Join the chat. Remember, join the WhatsApp chat. That's going to be the place to be. And we're going to be like, listen, come ready to rock because this is going to be the last opportunity of the year. You guys and also if you leave and you feel disappointed at the end, don't, because you're planting the seeds. You're planting the seeds that you're going to water, and those seeds are going to grow and bear fruit. And I don't want you to leave RTAG and have a negative feeling. And there's only about 100 people left here, and those are the people of the 5,000 people. I'm going to be repeating this over and over and over and over and over and over and over again because they didn't hear it. But take solace in that. All right, this is a marathon, and you are doing the right thing, and you're lifting, and you've got the inertia, and you've started it. So keep it going. Be part of the team. Listen to the Ready for Pushback podcast. Write me a review if you want, man. I would really appreciate that, actually. But I'm here for you. Podcast at spitfireelite.com. I'll be working on that. I got to get my medical tomorrow, so that's what I'm working on tonight. It's getting all my 8,500 done. Make sure you guys are focused on that. Take care of yourself. Take care of your family. And just love on them. This is okay. It's going to be all right. You guys are going to find good jobs. I'm here with you. My team's here with you. We're glad you're part of our life. Thanks for spending your evening with me, and I'll see you on the next time. Ciao.